who's gone through. Ryan Ignatius, not Ignatius Ryan, as it has said on some of the timesheets. Well, actually, they've got that the wrong way around from everybody else's on there, haven't they? They normally put family name first. Fewy, and we don't have to reboot, so we will leave you with the outside view after the pit lane is cleared. So we go on to the 164B final. And I'll show you what we're seeing. And if I just move that camera slightly into the sky and let it settle down for a moment. Still a bit threatening here. Look, he talks, he puts in the graphics, and he works a camera. And I'm sitting down having a coffee at the same time. Or at least I will be in a moment or two's time. '64 final B coming up. There's your runners and riders. They're warming up at the moment. I'm indebted to John Amber. I thought it was more likely to be Ryan Ignatius than Ignatius Ryan. But, for example, that is Luca Conti, Matteo Rinaldi, Jonathan Gandan, Massimo Aliprandi, etc. on the screen at the moment. And they've had Ryan Ignatius as Ryan Ignatius all the way through. So I apologise if I've said it the wrong way around at some stage. I've probably said it both ways, depending on how excited I was getting. There's your pit lane. Our runner time pit lane. Busy place that's going to be for the final 1 hour. Ryan Ignatius Ryan is what I'm going to call him now. And then I'm bound to have got some part of it right. He's happy. He's gone through. So whether I've called him by his right name, his wrong name, or something in between, as Harry Sidian says, he's happy no matter what I say. So final top up of fuel before we head to the grid. Ash is going back on the camera. Harry joins me. Let's have a quick look at the grid lineup. Luca Conti. Actually, we'll start off the back because it's David Billard and Emil Konstantinov and Demian Thiron who qualified through. Richard Volta, Nick Miramont, Elias Flavio and Massimo Aliprandi, Jonathan Gandan, Mattia Rinaldi and Luca Conti. So 4 Italians at the front, Brazilian, a couple of French, Monegasque, 2 Monegasque drivers in there. So let's get ready to go. And we are off and running. Another 20 minutes of action here as everyone gets through the first couple of corners. And our leader's got a cracking start, Luca Conti. Elias Flavio, the Brazilian driver, from 5th to 3rd. Nicolas Miramont from 6th to 4th. And Richard Volta from 7th to 5th. So they've all moved up at the expense of Mattia Rinaldi. So there is Jonathan Gandan in 3rd position. So he's the man in the transfer spot at the moment. Oh, gets a bit wiggly there. Massimo Aliprandi's dropped to the back and is losing time as well. So two of the Italians having a slightly torrid start. Now pressure beginning to be applied by Richard Volta from Monaco, second of those 2 white cars. He's had a good start from 7th, now in 4th. And Richard Volta, member of the FMM club. Let's see when they start to peel off. We've had 2 minutes almost now when they start to peel off for their pit stops. Just ahead of the 7 car, Jonathan Gandan, the Italian. Two white cars battling together for 3rd and 4th. There's the 7. Let's go forward to the next one, H, and put them both in shot. Ash. H is sitting next to me. I think he's pulling away a bit, isn't he? Just a tiny bit. Seems to have put in a couple of decent laps. Best times around the low 16s here for these drivers. 16.188. The best last lap time here for Elias Flavio, the Brazilian in 2nd. 3rd and 4th still battling away. Through the Conrad corner and down into the start of the Shepherd S, which leads onto the infield and then to this wonderful horseshoe, the Parabolica, which shoots you out like a cork from a bottle. If you haven't seen it yet, have a look at the track walk we did yesterday. Some of the nuances of this track we simply can't show you in race conditions because A, the cars are moving too quickly, and B, the cameras are just a little bit too far away. Harry and I took a walk round earlier in the week and got close up and personal. Curbs are pretty flat here. They used to be built up, and the 1 or 2 of the drivers who've raced here before, as we continue to watch the 7 of Richard Volta in 4th position. He was saying, pit stop. So we've started to get a few pit stops now. Oh, and there was an unsafe release there in the pit lane. I think that was Jonathan Gandan who was in there. That's Volta that we're watching now. Yeah, 1 or 2 of the drivers as he comes into the pit lane. So what's that? We're on my 4.5 minutes, pretty much spot on. Two of the drivers saying they like the old curbs better here, where the insides of the curbs were built up. They've now been hollowed out, and you can fall down that. You can ditch hook it. Can you believe it's 10 years today since Colin McRae died, by the way, talking about rallying terms like ditch hooking. Yeah, ditch hooking means dropping your inside wheel literally into the ditch to help rotate the car. It's an old rally driver's trick. I don't recommend it on your street cars or indeed when you're racing. One or two drivers do it in full-size racing, one-to-one scale on curbs. Oh, massive conflagration there, right in front of Volta. And I've got a feeling that affected one or two of the cars further down. Yeah, the problem if you start ditch hooking with any degree of monotonous regularities, you pull the toe out on your front tyres and put the steering and suspension all out of whack, which is fine if you're getting your car serviced at a rally park every 2 or 3 stages. Not much good if you're running it on the straight. Yeah, 10 years today for Colin McRae. Battle of Britain Day as well today. Another anniversary. Remember hearing the news about Colin, who I worked with many times on the rallying side of things. Sometimes misunderstood character. Much missed. Still see his dad and his brother. And Nicky Grist, of course, his former co-driver, on a relatively regular basis when I'm at or working at rallies. Best wishes to all on that front. 6.5 minutes down, so we've got another couple of laps before, no, about another 4 or 5 laps before the next set of pit stops. So our leader and the man with the best time is behind him, the Italian, Luca Conti. Luca, not that far back. He's done a 16-0, 16-1 for Flavio. Just cycle back, Ash, please, and see just how far back Luca. Oh, there he is. He's right in there. The number 1, Luca Conti. So 5 leads from 1 from 3. This is really, really impressive driving. Smooth, fast, good through traffic. There is the second place man, Luca Conti. Luca on the Shepherd with the Pico engine and extreme body. If we go back another couple of cars, I think. Ash, before I send you on a wild goose chase, Richard Volta. It's not that far behind you. Oh, now who's just gone off there? Typically, when we've stopped looking at someone, there was a huge sigh from the crowd in front of us. And it was Luca Conte, I think. No, none of the leaders. Okay. So this is Richard Volta from Monaco, Monte Carlo. All of the above. And he is 3rd position now, as Elias Flavio was the one that dropped down. That was what the oohs and ahs for. And you clearly could hear that as well. Unless he just took a pit stop. Yeah, maybe he did. Because we're in that area now. 8.5 minutes, spot on. It's about 4 to 4.5 minutes. So he'll come into the pits now. Can you pick up the number 3 if you can, Jonathan Gandan, while we watch the pit stop? Pit stop very, very quick indeed. There is Jonathan, the Italian. Jonathan now in 4th position. This is where it all starts to move around. Top 4 actually not that far apart. Luca Conti just coming to the end of the lap now. Then Flavio, then Jonathan, then Richard. Pretty much as quick as I can say it. So this is Jonathan Gandan in third position. Behind him, one car further back. Go back to the next car, Ash. There's the man who's chasing him down. Richard Volta from Monaco, another one of the white cars. And once again, it's that time of the afternoon. Just after 2 o'clock, we get infested by flies around here. Get off me coffee. Definitely a trick to car for tonight. Get some fly spray. Don't think it'll help out here, but we'll give it a go. Might put them off. So, Luca Conti, Elias Flavio, Jonathan Gandan. Jonathan Gandan, the man we're watching, third position. Third position. Richard Volta in fourth position. The man we're watching is trying to chase down Jonathan Gandan, is what I was trying to say. Distracted by the flies. Volta, several times French champ when he was younger, thanks to Romuald Deren for that. Pit stops changing the situations as well. And why was 7 pulling over? That Luca Conti going through and putting a lap on him there? No. Not entirely certain what was happening there, unless that was a driver that had laps to make up. Right, let's pick up the number 1 then. We haven't seen the Italian for a wee while. Leading by about 3 seconds at the moment. Then it's 2 seconds from second to third and 2 seconds from third to fourth. White, green and blue of Luca Conti. That extreme-bodied Pico engine Shepherd. You can see why he's leading. Look at his lines. Lovely. Absolutely fabulous. And showing off in their all of their glory by some great camera work there from Ash. Pit lane for him. Let's pick up number 5 whilst we're watching the pit stop. In goes the fuel, down and away. Now this is second. And sorry, that's third. That's Elias. My apologies, but he's still in a transfer spot. So Richard Volta leads, but he'll have to stop in a second too. One more pit stop for the leader before the end, I reckon. When will Flavio come in? I would suggest this lap or the next one. And it's not this one. Well, I can't believe he's going to get another 2 minutes plus here. But we'll stay with him for another lap or so. Still in third. He will be pretty close to the man who's the effective leader after his pit stop. Luca Conti held on to second place. Conti's back in the lead now with the pit stops, and that means this car's now in second. But who's that coming up behind him? Well, the answer is it's someone he needs to be worried about, because that is Jonathan Gandan, and that is a battle for position. And in fact, he's gone through that. So Gandan back into second position, and the gap to the leader is a couple of seconds. So the 5 still in it. Elias Fabio. Volta 2 seconds pretty much exactly behind. Let's drop back. Oh, it's just dropped back to Volta. The next car back, it should be the number 7. Yeah, we're getting used to seeing him now. Well, he's still there. Oh, looked a bit uncertain turning into the parabolica there through Conrad Corner. 3 more laps and we'll be in the window for the last pit stop. Conti, Gandan, Flavio, and then this car, Volta. This would be a good run from Volta. Be European champion in 2008. And I apologise, Ramald, for butchering your name. I'm looking at a lot of small windows on screens here, trying to keep everything open at once. Multiple screens. Right, 4 minutes and 6 seconds to go. So anyone who stops now, that will be their last pit stop. Should be able to get just on 4 minutes easily here. Of course, it might be 4 minutes 15 even from now if you get the extra lap in. So that's why people will want to go to just under 4 minutes. 3:42 on the clock now. A little bit less than that, actually. So pit stops have started at the front of the field. Volta jumping up to second for a moment, but he'll have to make his stop. So when this car goes in, Ash, we need to pick up the number 5, which is another white car, of course it is. Because it's going to depend how quick this pit stop is as to whether he can put some pressure on. Under 3 minutes. 16 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 6, 4 16 zeros. 5 16 zeros. For some reason not getting the fastest lap popping up, so I'm having to scan down everybody's best lap time. Very, very tight heat this. And the third transfer position. Now Richard Volta is now leading with 2:28 to go, but he must have to make a stop. We've been watching him for ages, and if he's gone from here, he's gone from well on 5 minutes. Oh, big slide, gets into the grey there. Take a breather, and there's the pit stop. So in he comes, watch for the white car being picked up. The white car goes down, that was a good stop. Meantime, there's the 5, he's gone through. So Volta will drop down. At the end of this lap, you'll see it change. Jonathan Gandan leads from Elias Fabio, from Volta. Oh, he's held on to third. Where's the 5 gone? Oh, the 5 was in second, right? He's got ahead of Luca Conte. So that was a good pit stop. Drop back from this car to the 7 again. There he is. So that was a great tactic then from Volta. Luca Conte, he's not that far behind. Let's cycle back to the number 1 car, please, Ash. Coming through now. Oh, he's got traffic ahead of him, though. Minute and 5 seconds to go. He's got to dispose of this traffic. The Italian Luca Conte on the Shepherd. He'll be wanting this. Maybe just slightly conservative on the pit stops, and he's stopped rather earlier than the rest of the guys. And I'm pretty certain he stopped one more time. And that might be the difference here, you know. He's 4 seconds behind Volta. He's not going to make that up. He's not got the pace. And it's going to be Flavio, Volta and Gandin. Gandin. Lovely lines, and he was leading so comfortably earlier on. All went wrong with those pit stops. Time's about to elapse. It's going to be 5, 7 and 1, I think. Oh, so who stopped? Jonathan Gandan stopped right at the end. The 3 car has dropped laps right at the end. And that's a huge turnaround, and that means redemption for Luca Conte. Time has elapsed. So we'll show you the results. And in fact, they were off the screen rather too quickly, but it was Elias Flavio, Ricard Volta and Luca Conti